Alright guys, welcome back to Learnlyte. In this video, we're gonna continue on and we're gonna talk about object-oriented programming in Java, and we're gonna be talking about classes and objects. So, in this video, we're going to talk about some object-oriented programming concepts, or OOP. So OOP stands for object-oriented programming. This is going to be a brief introduction to OOP and what classes and objects are. So let's get started. What is object-oriented programming? Object-oriented programming is one of two types of programming paradigm. There is functional programming and object-oriented programming. Object-oriented programming involves the programmer creating objects in programming, and these objects can have certain attributes and can carry out certain tasks. This type of programming is quite good for large and complex applications and programs. Java is a fully object-oriented language, meaning that it's best suited for object-oriented programming. Alright, so let's talk about the first thing you want to know in object-oriented programming. So, what is a class in OOP? Well, think of a class as the blueprint for an object. It tells us what object is being created and any properties the object may have or any actions that the object can perform. And in object-oriented programming, classes are what we use to create the various objects. Without defining a class, we can't create any objects. So remember, the key thing to take away from this is that a class in OOP is simply the blueprint for an object. It tells us what object is being created, any properties the object may have, and what actions the object can perform. And this is all within the programming concept. This is all within a programming sense. So here is an example. This should seem familiar to you because we wrote this in a previous video. And here we have public class hello. And then inside of the class we have this method. And this method, all it's doing is just printing out hello world. This is my first program. So right here, this is an example of a class called hello. So we have public class hello followed by open and close brackets, and then inside of that we have the methods. So the class being created here is hello, and the public, this is just a modifier for the class. We'll talk about modifiers in a later video. But all I want you to take away from this example is that here we have a class being created. Well, we have a class definition right here, and the class name is hello, and then what is inside of it is just a public method. And public methods are basically ways of telling us that any objects created from this hello class will be able to perform this action, which in this case involves hello world. This is my first program. So any object created from this hello class will be able to perform this action, which is printing out hello world. This is my first program. So I just wanted to basically dissect this piece of code and show you right here. We're creating a class called hello, right? And any objects created from this class will be able to perform an action of printing out to the user hello world. This is my first program. All right, so that's the main takeaway. As I said before, this public before class hello is just a modifier, and we'll talk about modifiers in a later video. But for right now, we're creating a class called hello, open and close quotation, and then what's inside of it is just a method, but we'll talk about methods in a future video. So what are objects in OOP? So we talked about classes, so let's talk about objects. Objects are abstract in nature. They can be anything the programmer desires. The programmer can give these objects any properties or attributes they want, and the programmer can make these objects perform any action that they desire. With this in mind, you can see how a programmer can make objects in programming to model any real-world object or entity. Example, a programmer can create a dog object in programming with the different attributes such as name, age, and breed. The programmer can have the dog object perform certain actions such as bark and bite. OOP gives programmers the ability to model any real-life entity in programming, which is very powerful and useful. So objects are basically created from classes. So a class is just a blueprint for an object, and we use class definitions to create objects. So for you to create a dog object, you need a dog class. All right. And that's it for this video. This video I just wanted to basically talk about these concepts in OOP such as classes and objects. So the main takeaway that I want you to have from this video is know what a class is. And we already told you what a class is. Think of a class as the blueprint for an object. It tells us what object is being created and any properties or actions that object can perform. And what is an object? Well, an objects are basically anything the programmer desires. They are abstract in nature. If we want a dog object, we can create a dog object from a dog class. So in order to have an object, we need to have a class. Alright, and I just want you to understand that basic concept, and pretty much OOP is just how various classes and objects interact with each other. That's all object-oriented programming. Multiple classes and objects interacting with each other. So I hope you learned quite a lot in this video, and if you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section below. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe for more content. And as always, I will see you in the next video.